Rin Tohsaka is one of the three main heroines of Fate/Stay Night and Archer's Master in the Fifth Holy Grail War. Rin is the protagonist of the Unlimited Blade Works route. Past 200 years ago, the Tohsaka family, in collaboration with the Makiri and the Ainsburn, collaborated in the creation of the Fuyuki Holy Grail Wars. The region where the city of Fuyuki is located, which boasted the second greatest spiritual power in all of Japan, was under the ownership of Rin's ancestor, Nagato Tohsaka, who offered it as a stage for present and future battles at the request of the Ainsburn. Nagato, being a Christian and a disciple of Zelrich, had considerable influence in both the Sorcery Association and the Church, which allowed the Tohsaka family to participate in the Holy Grail Wars without interference from both organizations. Rin was raised as the heir to her family's magic, with her father instructing her to prioritize magic over her own interests. A decade earlier, Tokiomi Tohsaka was chosen as master in the Fourth Holy Grail War, leaving Rin in charge of House Tohsaka until his return. His mother, Aoi Tohsaka, was weakened by the war, so Rin was left under the care of his guardian, Kirai Kodo Mine. After her father's assassination, Rin continued to perfect her magic under Kirai's guidance. To divert attention from her personal life, Rin diligently strove to win the admiration of her peers, despite secretly being stingy, masculine in style, and a perfectionist. The rights to the Tohsaka lands passed to Aoi after Tokiomi's death, and then to Rin after her mother's death. Kirai acted as Rin's guardian, but due to his careless and rough handling, most of the properties ended up in the hands of others. It is possible that he believed that wealth would be detrimental to his upbringing due to his principles of humility and poverty. Despite resenting the sacrifices she has had to make for the sake of tradition, Rin is extremely competitive and longs to prove that she is a skilled and capable sorceress. Rin was greatly disappointed when she summoned Archer, going so far as to fight with him. However, they soon reconciled their differences and established a good relationship quickly. Rin has long, wavy grayish-brown hair, which she pulls into two pigtails with black bows. During her school years, she wears the standard Hamurahare uniform, occasionally accessorized with a long red coat. In her youth, her attire consisted of a white shirt with a red tie, a red skirt and long black stockings, similar to her current attire. During the Fifth Holy Grail War, she presents Saber with a skirt and a simple shirt, garments that were originally a birthday gift from Kirai. In her adult life, Rin wears her hair down. 2 years after the events of Heaven's Feel, she wears a long-sleeved red shirt and a brown skirt. Her alternative attire includes a long red jacket, a white turtleneck sweater, a black mini skirt and long leather boots. Rin displays a serious, sharp, witty, and highly competitive personality. Although she is widely respected at school for her outstanding academic performance and integrity, this is only a facade she uses to protect her privacy. In private, Rin is notoriously loud, shrewd, economical, and domineering, especially with those she holds dear. She is recognized as an exemplary student and a leading figure in her school. She often adopts a hostile tone in her communication, looking down on others, although she actually has an affectionate, big sisterly side. Her tendency to make trivial mistakes at the most inopportune times is somewhat inherited. Although she is much nicer than she appears, she insists that her decisions are based on cold, rational logic, not considering herself very nice. In fact, his choice of dress may be an overreaction to this. Despite claiming that she would do whatever it takes to win the Holy Grail War, even if covertly, she retains a strong sense of honor, refusing to get rid of Shiro despite the opportunities, as she feels she owes him and it would be in poor taste to do so. Growing up, Rin viewed the Fourth Holy Grail War in a similar way to how Shiro understands the Fifth, understanding it but not fully grasping it. She admired her father as a great sorcerer who deserved respect and love, but she did not see his negative aspect, the coldness that accompanied that ideal. Had her father lived long enough for Rin to understand his true personality, her own development would have been different. Whether she would have rejected that inhumanity and abandoned the path of sorcery, or followed in her father's footsteps to become a perfect, cold-hearted sorceress is unknown. Either path would have been far from happiness. Tokiomi's early death deprived Rin of knowledge of the original goal of the Holy Grail War, which was to open a hole beyond the world. Rin seeks the Holy Grail in honor of his deceased father and his family's prestige, but has little personal motivation to do so. Although her sister Sakura does not know it, Rin feels guilty and believes she abandoned Sakura when she was adopted by the Matu family. This guilt led her to save Shiro, Sakura's love, from death. Although she has always watched Sakura from afar, she never realized how much she suffered with the Matu, fooling herself into thinking Sakura was happy to ease her own guilt. Rin spent time arguing and cooperating with Shiro. Deep down, she enjoys teasing serious people like him. However, she came to want to kill him when she discovered his gradation error in the shed, believing that he had lied to her. Although she claimed not to be interested in anyone, in the Heavens Feel route, Rin reveals her attraction to Shiro while advising Sakura, which makes Sakura feel jealous and resentful towards Rin. Among her hobbies is admiring jewelry. Although she is wealthy due to her family's thaumaturgical patents, Rin feels ashamed to rely on the work of past generations. Rin was born with the ability to manipulate the 5 great elements, an extremely rare trait among mages. Her potential is so remarkable that she will eventually be recognized as one of the top 100 sorceresses in the history of the Sorcerers Association. Using a simple numerical scale, someone with exceptionally high potential like Seal would be placed at level 100, while someone perpetually at the apprentice level like Shiro would be at 10, placing Rin in the 70 to 100 range. As an heiress of the Tohsaka family, Rin excels in power transmutation, which involves storing magical energy in objects, usually jewelry, for use as mystical codes of limited use. Since the amount of energy a mage can release at one time is limited by bodily capabilities, Rin has been able to accumulate all the magical energy generated by her body over her lifetime through the crystallization of jewelry. As with the practice of alchemy, carrying these jewels has become a daily ritual to turn them into powerful tools. In the end, however, they are nothing more than disposable objects. Since their magic turns the expensive jewelry into ashes after a single use, the mages of the Tohsaka family often suffer constantly from a lack of financial resources. When she needs to use the stored power, Rin can employ the jewels to instantly cast A-rank spells capable of countering casters' Age of God sorcery spells, or even to eliminate one of Berserker's lives with only 5 jewels. His casting speed is so fast that it can rival casters' high-speed divine words. He can also use small amethyst statues shaped like owls as familiars for reconnaissance purposes. His most common offensive technique is a Finnish technique known as Gander, which concentrates magical energy in the index finger, creating a misty black orb that is then fired like a bullet. Originally conceived as a curse, Rin's variant takes on an unusual and tangible form. Thanks to having inherited and infused her family's magical emblem, Rin does not require a verbal incantation to initiate the spell, being able to fire multiple shots instantly, establish a barrier, and even hurl them at an opponent if she so desires. Rin's Gander is especially destructive, capable of piercing and disintegrating much of a concrete wall with just one of them, being considered on the same level as the Finn shot or the Finnish Gatling gun. Although Rin outscores Kyrie Kodomine in stats, Kyrie Kodomine would win 80% of the time by taking advantage of Rin's past traumas to prevent him from fighting to his full potential. Even without such knowledge, Kyrie would still have a substantial combat advantage over Rin due to his more than 10 years of experience as a professional mage assassin. Had Bazet Frogomikrimitz been able to participate in the war, he would have posed a threat to Rin. Rin is also proficient in reinforcement spellcasting, which allows her to strengthen her legs to the point where she can run over 100 meters in less than 7 seconds and be fast enough to be perceived as a blur to an average human. Likewise, she can apply the enchantment on herself for a few seconds to inflict critical damage to a servant such as Caster using physical strikes when Rin's guard is down. Rin can use one of her jewels to generate a large amount of protection, placing it over her stomach to form a protective covering capable of resisting even Berserker's grip for long periods of time. She can also use some degree of healing sorcery and runes. Rin practices pseudo-karate as a form of self-defense, with Kyrie being her martial arts instructor. Her training was responsible for the sequence of moves she used to corner Caster. Thanks to her combat experience, she is able to stalk Gray despite her enhanced senses and throw a punch in 0.2 seconds that would have fractured Shiro's cheekbone. As she grows, Rin combines her martial skills with the use of her magic, making every move purposeful in manipulating the flow of magical energy within her and in preparations for an explosive boost to her joints and muscles. In the alternate world of Fate/Apocrypha, she invents a style of martial arts that combines magic and Chinese Kenpo. Rin has inherited everything that belonged to his father, including the family jewels, the magical items bequeathed by Zelrich, and the resources and knowledge to run his workshop, located in the basement of the Tohsaka house. Originally, Rin would have possession of vast commercial spiritual lands that generated more income than most second-rank families elsewhere, but Kiriai's mismanagement as his legal guardian has led to the loss of the most valuable properties to others. Still, she receives annual royalties from the Tohsaka family's magical patents, X*0000000 yen, which puts her in a relatively well-off position. Rin acquires jewelry for her trade through exclusive channels used by her family, which often leads her to wonder if she could have gotten a better price from the buyer if she had befriended certain ladies. In preparation for the Fifth Holy Grail War, Tokiomi leaves Rin a special inheritance in her will, which requires her to solve a special puzzle to find and open a box that belongs to her. The most prominent items are a pendant and the once damaged catalyst with which he had summoned Gilgamesh. Upon opening the box, all the clocks in the house are set forward 1 hour as a sort of joke, as if to insinuate, if she can't notice a mistake as trivial and close to home as this one, it's too soon for her to participate in the Holy Grail War. Jewelry. Rin acquires a variety of jewelry, and those she wears in combat can fetch prices of up to 500,000 yen each. Those made with crystals naturally capable of storing mana easily are made with precious metals and possess a high value. Since the beginning of Fate/Stay Night, her savings consist of 20 jewels containing the energy she has accumulated over more than a decade, costing a total of 10 million yen. He uses 10 during Archer's summoning ritual, and the remaining 10 during battles on the 3 routes. Rin's pendant is a powerful one-of-a-kind item left to Rin as part of Tokiomi's inheritance, which she considers a memento of her father. It is a centuries-old Tohsaka family heirloom that is the largest jewel within the family and far more powerful than any other, equivalent to 10 years of Rin's magical energy. Rin believes Tokiomi left it to help her win the Holy Grail War, so she decides to use it as a last resort, confident that with the magical energy it contains anything is possible. The jewel has enough energy to revive a human being on the verge of death, which Rin uses at the beginning of the war to bring Shiro Amiya back by restoring his heart. After running out of energy, the jewel loses much of its power and Rin leaves it with Shiro, considering it worthless after running out of energy. Shiro keeps it as a memento of his unknown savior, while a future version of Shiro, Archer, keeps it throughout his life, making it a catalyst that connects him to his summoner. Rin is the Fate/Stay Night character with the most screen time. In Kinoko Nasu's original Fate story, Rin's original archetype was Messiah Ryorukin, who had been designed to be a villain and Lancer's original master in the novel. When Takashi Takeuchi convinced Nasu to change the setting of the story, Rin's role as a villain was eventually changed to that of one of the selectable heroines of Fate/Stay Night. Both Takashi Takeuchi and Kinoko Nasu thought that Kana Ueda's voice was too cute, and thought, should we look for another option for Rin's voice? How about making Rin excessively proud with a cute voice? In the end, they dared to make Rin's voice cute. Kana Ueda figured out how to play Rin for Studio Dean's anime adaptation when she played the original Fate/Stay Night game, where she understood that Rin had to put her feelings aside a long time ago. When Kana was recording the radio program for Fate/Stay Night, Takeuchi made illustrations of Rin on colored paper for her. Even though Kana had been selected for the role, when it came to voicing the character for something real, she couldn't imagine Rin coming out of her voice. For a long time she had this feeling of incompatibility, although she normally didn't feel that way when playing characters from other works. Kana had doubts, so she ended up asking Nasu if it was really okay for her to play Rin. Nasu said it was fine, but she kept wondering if it really was. Kana also thought that maybe she shouldn't say that in front of the scenario writer. While playing Rin in Fate/Stay Night, as well as in various other spin-off and related products, she tried to make it match the rhythm of the story she was in, since there were a lot of very small and delicate changes. In Studio Dean's adaptation TV series, Rin decided to watch Shiro and Saber. When they recorded the voices for the PS2 game, Realta Nua, Rin was much more excited than she had been in the anime. Kana has to adjust her performance carefully within that kind of field. Gen Urobuchi believes that the real heroine of Fate/Stay Night is Rin, because in the Unlimited Blade Works route you have an equal relationship with a woman who has become stronger than most men. Rin and Shiro resolve each other's weaknesses with their own unique strengths, and he believes that makes it a very good relationship. In response to what Jin said, Nasu commented that it's true that Rin is different from Saber. Rin is written as a completely different gender. She also has a certain pride in the fact that she is a beautiful girl. With a girl like that by her side, even an unsociable person like Shiro loses his presence of mind. Takeuchi mentioned how impressed he was with how Rin's character turned out. He states that the idea of turning an evil character that everyone had a low opinion of into a major heroine was at first frowned upon by most of the staff, as well as a big risk. However, after successfully completing the game, the character became a hit, and was well loved. Kana Ueda, Rin's voice actress, thought of her as a domineering and imperious young woman, as her name suggests. Although hidden within that image of a girl who always tries hard, there is someone who is also childlike and playful. Rin has both aspects, and she is charming because of it. Kana Ueda has played the role of Rin for so long that she really likes the master-servant pairing between Rin and Archer. Comparing herself to Rin, Kana thinks that she is a bit more exaltable and makes more mistakes than Rin. Kana tries not to let it show, but she doesn't mind if they see it because she is a clumsy girl. Speaking personally, Kana wanted to continue with another story set in the main Fate timeline. She thinks it would be great if she could play Rin again. In the 4th popularity poll of 2003, Rin was ranked 93rd. In the first Fate/Stay Night popularity poll in 2004, Rin was ranked 4th, Suku Rin, Tiger Dojo, 33rd and Lowly Rin 55th. In the second Fate/Stay Night popularity poll in 2006, Rin ranked 2nd, Juga Rin 40th, Rin Tohsaka of a Parallel World 46th, and Hitere Rin 68th. In Type Moon's 10th anniversary popularity survey, Rin from Fate/Stay Night ranked 4th as the 3rd most popular female character. Rin from Fate/Zero was 130th. Rin Tohsaka is one of the best-known anime characters, is also very popular among otakus, being one of the characters that most cosplayers are made, belongs to the saga Fate/Stay Night, so it has many versions. You can be a magician, or a magical girl, or a goddess, but no matter the version or which is the one you like, when Rin appears on screen will look very nice. I hope you liked the video. If you want me to bring a video about your anime character, comment it. Do not forget to check the videos of the channel. See you in the next video.